walking. Keep walking. Turn around. Keep your hands up.
Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire, Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this first story comes from Coventry. As regular viewers will know, we've covered several murders of teenagers in Coventry this year and last year, and we've followed them cases from the initial murders to the convictions that followed. We recently covered the convictions of the killers of Jaden James and Romani Morgan that were both stabbed in relation to incidents. One was at a house party, and Jaden James was actually from the Wood End area, so he was from the C2 area, and police have openly came out today and said that this violence to do with Abdul's murder was connected to a gang in the area called C2 and their rivals RB7. So this is the first time that it's safe, so it doesn't interrupt any sort of court proceeding, to be able to mention the fact that these murders were connected to these gangs. Abdul was a Muslim. He had just left Friday prayer, known as Jummah, at the local mosque. He was walking along Harnall Lane into Adelaide Street in Hillfields just after 2:30 on the 13th of March. A post-mortem examination revealed he died of 2 gunshot wounds to his back that caused catastrophic internal injuries. He died on the street. Police have today released the CCTV footage. I initially believed that the family may have released this and give the permission. And of course, this is very upsetting for the family. We initially posted this to the social media accounts, but in this video, I'm not going to show the actual moment that he's shot. I'm going to show everything that leads up to it out of respect for the family. But I do think it's very important that young children see this, mainly just due to the fact that one of the people that was convicted for it was 15 at the time. The gunman was aged 19 and the one driving the car was 15. A man and a boy have been sent to jail for life. They've been found guilty on the 26th of November. The shooter and his getaway driver made off in a VW Golf Type R that was stolen from Rugby the previous day. They arranged for others to set fire to it in an attempt to destroy forensic evidence, a very common technique used in rideouts. But they weren't on the run for long. The police said they quickly identified them as potential suspects, and they were both arrested in the early hours of the morning after they raided their homes in Coventry. They say both were electronically tagged due to suspected involvement in other offences due to gangs, and seized tagging information that showed they were in the street at the time of the murder. And I think this is a very important thing to discuss and also to raise awareness for as well. A tag is GPRS. They didn't cut the tags off. They actually monitored it. And tags can tell police where you are at any time. So they're monitored, they're documented and they're stored. So all the police had to do was literally go to the tagging companies who are part of the government, acquire the information from that. So this goes to show either it was a spare of the moment thing with not a lot of thinking into it, or it is something that somebody overlooked, which also goes to show how young some of these people involved are in this. So they went to the lengths of burning the car, but they forgot that there was monitoring the actual process. Shotgun cartridges were found in the burnt out car, and they were matched by ballistic experts to spent cartridges at the murder scene. This also would be massive amounts of evidence. To have the similar bullets found in the car that was used would be as good as forensic evidence to the police. Despite strong evidence against the teens, they denied the murder, but following a 4-week trial at Birmingham Crown Court, they were found guilty. The jury found the gunman, who was aged 20 and from Longford, unanimously guilty and reached a majority verdict on the boy, who is now aged 16 and from the Stoke area of Coventry. The boy hasn't been named, and to be honest, neither has the 20-year-old. I don't know if he will be named later on, but in this country, we don't name children under 18 in any case. So the 16-year-old, I don't think he'll ever be named. But this also goes to show how long you can be on trial as well, for a year, 2 years easily during a case like this, without knowing exactly what's going to happen, while your family are at home not understanding what's happening either. They will be sentenced on the 22nd of December, so just before Christmas. Both will receive custodial life sentences, so that'll be a minimum of 15 to 20 years. For legal reasons, they are unable to name the killers at this stage. So I believe that potentially maybe the 20-year-old might have a case going on at the moment, so they don't want to influence his other case, because they did say they was on tag for various different things, so they could easily have another case. And in this country also, they don't release identities of criminals before all their cases are dealt with. Police have said the offenders were linked to a gang called C2 in Coventry, and the victim, who was arrested days before the murder for possessing an imitation gun, was connected to a rival group called RB7.
This blocker, taking a shit then papa. When man's here up in the rave for rave, go locker. Like yo, YG can't get him. He said, yeah, show me a picture. I say YG, that's a guy. He says, so that is a up. May make so right to the top. May make do a lean and buck.
Detective Chief Inspector Scott Griffiths from the Homicide Unit led the investigation. He said there's been ongoing tensions between the two groups that included firearm discharges that led up to the murder. What happened was outrageous. A shotgun was fired several times in a public street in the middle of the afternoon. It happened very close to a nursery, and other people not connected to the gang could have easily been injured. He said it's a really tragic and stark reminder of the consequences of being involved in gangs, and one young life has been lost and the lives of two others, including a young child, have been utterly ruined. The Coventry gang RB7 that Abdul was associated to has had several cases involved. They haven't really made music in several years due to the fact that most of them have murder cases or have left the country. And they were probably one of the biggest drill gangs that came out of Coventry. And it also shows as well, I think, drill is not necessarily the creation of the violence. The violence and the gang rivalry existed before drill music. Drill music is a reflection of that. It's a way for the kids to be able to explain what's going on in their communities and also what's going on in their life. They document it in great detail, and it can give you a massive insight into the mentality of the kids today.
RB7 with gang, pull up on the block then bang, free on my niggas them lock, that with a up that sang.
So my condolences to the family of Abdul Xasan as well, and also the families of these young men that have now lost considerable years from their life. I hope they do sort their lives out when they get out and they see the realities of what they've got themselves involved in. So I really appreciate you joining me today for this story. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news, and please stay safe. Peace.